What's going on? I got an R4 battle finally working. That's awesome. This battle was standard against a random guy from Maryland. I don't remember. This battle was like 2 weeks ago. I don't remember it, so I'll put it in the description or whatever. I lead with this Uber hacks as he leads with this Uber, and I'm like, WTF? So I set up rocks, and I know from using this Rachi that I can take standard per leads earthquake because Rachi is a beast and it's so uber hacks. So I tank that like a Rachi, and yeah, I'm gonna get out and go into per to dodge the earthquake. He predicts the switch pretty well and goes for his rocks. So I taunt so that he can't roar me out, which he does try to do, so that's pretty tasty. He switches out to Electivire, which sucks. Electivire is really fucking bad. Um, I go for the DD, obviously. And Electivire is just gonna die to a +1 waterfall because it's really just that bad. And it kind of looks like it's taking a shit. You ever notice that? Electivire looks like he's like, ah. That was weird. So he goes in this misspelled cocaine, and which is probably because he uses too much cocaine. Probably why he can't spell. And I figured for some reason he would try and set up, so I went for the taunt. And he did try and set up, even though he knew I had taunt. So, yeah. I figure I can live an unboosted Stone Edge, so I go for the DD. He does go for the Stone Edge. And I was hoping for a miss or not a crit, and he does hit, but he doesn't get a crit, so I do live, which is awesome. I do see that he's life orb, so I can live -1 life orb, if that was offensive. So yeah, I go for the DD +1. That's obviously gonna take out this Gara, so yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, that's why drugs are bad, kid. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah, so he goes in this Rotom. I figured I wouldn't be able to kill it with Waterfall, but I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go for it. I have no idea why he did not switch into this in the first place. So, yeah. He goes to the T-Bolt, and yeah, that's gonna take me out, but I still took out, like, a lot of his team. That was my mouse, by the way. So I go into Azelf, and I'm Scarfed, and I can just take out this, Rotom with a Psychic. So, yeah, dead Rotom. And I believe, like, half of his team is gone, so that's great. Yeah, it's lag, but he went into Rachi. So, I switch out to Pert. He scouts with a U-turn, which is good for him. Lag again. He switches into Bliss, and I know the only reason he would switch into Bliss is because, is if it had, Toxic. So we both get leftovers. I'm gonna switch out to my own Rachi, because I know he's not gonna T-Wave or anything. He does go for the Toxic. That's awesome for me. I get lefties. Here, I'm gonna go for the T-Wave, like maybe predicting a switch. But I don't usually face Blissey, and I kind of forget how good it takes physical hits, even with its terrible defense. He goes for the S-Toss. That's really bad. I can take it, but I survive with 47, so I cannot take another. But I decide to risk it for a biscuit here and go for the hacks. But he gets through the hacks, which is a really small chance, but Blissey is just that fucking stupid. So, yeah. I die to a Bliss, which is always sad. So I go into this because I just want to go boom, and he predicts that and goes into Rachi, which still takes a crap ton from this explosion because Azelf is a beast. Nobody ever uses it outside of lead, but Scarf is really good. So I go into Heatran to scare it away. I am a sub-Tran, I believe. But I didn't go for the sub for some reason. I went for just straight for the Fire Blast, I think. So he goes back into this Uber, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't handle Ubers. Except my Fire Blast does, it does pretty good, considering this thing is so Uber. So, yeah, get lefties, blah, blah, blah. Here I switch out, and I go into my own. because I'm like, Chris Hansen, Dateline NBC. I can't do a Chris Hansen voice, but whatever. So I get lefties, so does he. Here, I carry Toxic to, fuck over other walls, so that's what I go for. I should have just spammed EQ, knowing that he only had Blissey, Pert, and, Rachi left, but, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. It's hurt by poison. And, yeah, I go into this fearing status, the Toxic, but he goes for the Wish, which, you see Blissey and you kind of, like, rage, and then you see Wish Bliss and you, like, rage uncontrollably. You're like, fuck. I have no idea what I'm saying. So, he switches out of Blissey and goes into Rachi, which I should have predicted, but, whatever. I don't know what I was thinking. I go for the curse. He gets the wish off, which is bad because Rachi is really annoying. But I have both Pert and he trying to take it, so I'm not really too worried. I stay in just cause see if I can hit through the hacks. Just because I'm a cool kid like that. But I flinched twice and yeah, that's not fun, so I rage quit and switch to Pert. Yeah, because I know he's scarfed, Surprise, surprise. So that does, like, nothing. Now I finally get my senses together and start spamming EQ. He switches into Bliss. Luckily you don't have to watch its whole HP bar go down, because that would be slightly more exciting than watching paint dry. It's, they're both, pretty boring, but, it's a tie for me. So, yeah, the Blissey almost dies to the Earthquake, and I am faster, so I can 2 KO Blissey, and it is dead, so, yeah. I'm, like, over here throwing a party, Blissey's dead. No, it's not dead, it's just fainted. No, shut up, it's dead. So, he goes back into Rachi. He doesn't even try for the flinch hacks. He goes for the Ice Punch, just because it's neutral, maybe trying for the freeze. It doesn't do anything, and he does not get the freeze, so I'm going to go for the Earthquake. That is super effective, but because Rachi is a beast, it survives with, like, 0 HP, and lives because it's so uber, and he goes for the Ice Punch, doesn't do anything, don't get the freeze, and I'm able to take out Rachi, which is another annoying-ass thing. So, Rachi's son is dead, and, yeah, I'm looking pretty good on this bird. So he goes in his last guy, which is, this Uber, and even though it's an Uber, I can take Ubers because I am just a certified badass, but not really. No, just kidding. Yeah. I go for Toxic for shits and giggles. He roars me out, I guess, for shits and giggles. No, his was probably for gets and shiggles, It's easy to confuse the two, but, So he goes for the Earthquake. There's no point in cursing since he has Roar. I just go for the Body Slam. That does, like, nothing, but whatever. I just need damage on this thing because it's his last guy. So, he gets hurt by the poison. Yeah, we both get leftovers. Here, I go first, which means that he went for the Roar. I don't know why he roared, because now I win 3-0 instead of 2-0, I think. I don't know. Whatever. He was going to lose anyway. So, yeah. Chris Hansen's like, well, why don't you have a seat? I'm Chris Hansen. And he gets hurt by poison. He's like, oh my god, Chris Hansen. And I'm like, Chris Hansen, bitch. And, yeah. So Chris Hansen kills Ubers because Ubers are all rapists. So, yeah, GG. See ya.